Anthony Ferraro, Dan Mancina. Two blind guys collide to bring you Four Bad Eyes Podcast.
Hello, friends.
Hi, friends.
Hello, Anthony.
Hi, Dan.
Hi, Four Bad Eye friends.
Hi.
What?
What?
We're going.
Yeah.
We're still. Whoa, my bad. We're still taking suggestions for names for our fans, for listeners of the.
Yeah, because not everyone has bad eyes.
Right. Most people have good eyes,
Yeah.
decent eyes.
Decent. Should we call them the? I don't know.
Ooh, how about just the eyes, dude?
Yo.
Maybe the eyes
That's it right there. If you
or eyeballs.
If you are a follower, listener, friend, fan of Four Bad Eyes, you are officially the eyes. And for
Eyeballs.
those of you that don't,
The eyeballs, dude. What's up, eyeballs out there?
Eyeballs.
I don't know. It doesn't sound that good, but
No, the eyes, dude. I really like that. And
What's
then
up,
those of
the
you
eyes?
that don't have eyes or working eyes, you can be the ears.
Yes, eyes and ears.
Eyes and ears.
The eyes and ears. Hello,
Yeah.
eyes and ears. Eyes and ear. The eyes and ears.
The eyes and ears.
One word. Eyes and ears.
Band name. Eyes and ears.
There we go. That's it. Let us know what you think about that name.
Yes. So, if you are a supporter, you are an eyes and ear.
You're an eyes and ear. It's one word. That's EYESEARS. Eyes and ears. Eyes and ear. Actually, it would be EYESAN.
No,
Or just N.
Yeah, just the N. Eyes
Okay.
and ear. Eyes and ear.
EYESNEARS.
You're an eyes and ear. If you...
Eyes and ears. What's up, eyes and
Yeah.
ears?
What's
Finally
up,
got
eyes
a
and
name.
ears? How's it going? Thanks for following along. Welcome to the
Probably
show.
gonna forget that. Eyes and ears.
You can never forget the eyes and ears.
Welcome back, though.
Yeah. Hello, friends. And
Friends
foes.
and family. Family. I don't know. I don't think I have any family that listens.
Do you? No? I
No,
think
I
like some of my cousins have actually contacted me like randomly saying like, I actually love your podcast. Like I listen to it instead of music, like when I'm driving and stuff to work, and they're like, I actually learned so much about you because you never
Right.
really talked about these things, you know?
Yeah.
You know, and they're like, it's really informative. Like
I never knew you were in a summer camp.
Yeah, like even things like that. Like I don't know. It's really interesting to like hear that though.
Yeah, I hope, Callaghan and the kids in the future, our kids in the future, listen to it,
Absolutely.
Like a whole catalog of our lives, pretty much.
It's crazy.
It's pretty cool.
It's crazy because it's permanent too.
It's permanent.
Like it's there.
Until the grid goes down, bro. Until the asteroid hits. And then it's all gone.
It's true. We gotta.
I guess it doesn't matter at that point, though.
We gotta start It's like the reverse. Like now you should start saving things on hard copies.
Mhm.
You know, like
Yeah.
what if the internet goes down one day?
Yeah, my cloud.
'Cause
I don't
it
trust
used to
having
be-
everything on the cloud.
It used to be put everything on the cloud,
Yeah.
but now it's like you gotta.
I never trusted the cloud because I always thought about that. Well, if, who knows? Someone gets hacked.
I know, and they say like
Delete
well,
everything.
you should update to the cloud because if you lose your phone or something, you have all your stuff still.
Which is good for that, yeah. But it really should just be on, if you really want something, it should be, yeah, I guess if it's digital on a hard drive, and then, I don't know, then you got to like update your hard drives every now and then, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Can a hard drive just sit there for like 10 years? Is it still good? Is that even going to be, you're not even going to be able to plug it into a new freaking Mac thing.
It's like the
Gonna
new
be
mo-
port you got to use. Freaking Mac, dude. There'd be some Thunderwire.
Yeah, what's the next? I'm wondering, like freaking technologies just keeps going up. Like, are we gonna start going back to the basics?
It never stops, dude.
It never stops. But
Yeah, I'm just going to print out a photo.
stop with these text messages. Jeez.
No, I didn't hear him. I have two dogs in the house right now. My dog Otter and his best friend James. And Otter's just licking James' ears. 'cause
James
I
still
like it.
there?
Yeah. He just got here like an hour ago. My buddy Clay's coming over
Oh, nice.
after work.
Oh no, it was your brother's wiener dog that was there.
And he was licking his ears for like 2 days straight. Otter's got a thing for ears, dude. Anything stinky,
Yeah,
because he's my stinky boy.
dude. But back to that
Otter,
thing.
knock
Like,
it off.
are people gonna start like going back to the old days where you stuff your cash under the mattresses? Like, stop trusting banks. Like, what
Yeah,
if the
dude.
banks crash, dude?
Yeah.
Because everything on banks are like digital now.
Yeah. You don't really have it.
Like, and then money goes cashless. Like, you ever walk into a place now and they're like, "We don't take cash."
That's why
You're like, "Whoa, really?"
some people just start hoarding gold, dude.
No, jewelry. Yeah, jewelry.
Gold.
Jewelry's one thing to do.
But I mean, if it gets that bad, I mean, God, I guess it doesn't really matter at that point. You know, the banks go down. Who knows? Yeah,
Yeah, if the banks go,
everyone's screwed.
But that's the problem, dude. Does it take one hacker to get into like one bank's thing? Like,
I don't know. It's got to be somewhat separated, but like the Treasury, you know, United States Treasury, there's got to be some main system, I guess, that really
Hold on.
keeps track of everything.
hey, can you text off the group chat? Because I'm getting 1,000 notifications while I'm doing this. You texting Jake.
The silence. You go to the thing and unpin it.
It's not my phone. It's the computer.
Oh, it's the computer. Oh, okay.
It's on the computer.
That's why I hate my thing hooked up to the computer.
I know. I hate it
dude.
being hooked up to the computer too.
Do not disturb on the computer. There's a little like
Oh,
right here. Is that better?
Ferraros have some technical issues here.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
just gonna
better now.
I'm gonna hijack the podcast here
Yeah,
for
we've
a
been
second.
started.
And I'm gonna talk about me.
This in, Kelly.
I need to get my hair cut.
Yeah.
Yes, man. You've been moving nonstop.
Yeah.
Anthony's been on a new plane every 4 days for the last 3 months or something.
Yeah. It's been a freaking long month.
You're
Do
on a
tour.
plane you're on a plane like every 4 days, right? At least.
Yeah, going do tour, unlock the spots. That was a freaking blast.
Last one
going-
was
Went to Burlington, and then my July was crazy. Went to Burlington, and then came
Kansas?
over like a couple days, and then went to Cali, California. El
Mhm.
Segundo, skated with. So in Burlington, got skated with Chris Colburn. Shout out to Cookie. And that was sick. And then it was this like high ass ledge that was like higher than my, like way above my knees. And everyone there was like, people were showing up and they're like, how are we gonna skate this?
Mhm.
And I got a 50 on it though, $100. You. And El Segundo skated with the Otis Beasley, and that was hype. It was a
Ollie up
4
to
flat
3.
4. I did not touch that. I ollied the 3. I 180 front 1 to 3 and ollied up the 3.
Oh, you did front one too?
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah. That was, people watched the video and they're like, dude, I did not expect the front 1 at the end.
Yeah, I don't think you talked about that.
Yeah, it was cool. I must not have.
You talked about the ollie up, but I don't think
I
you
do
mentioned-
like front 1s are such my thing that like I don't think they're like, I'm like, that's not a trick, but like it is, you know.
Yeah, it's a comfortable one, a good go down gaps,
Yeah.
especially when you got to clear stuff. It's easy to clear over.
It is. I
stuff like the
noticed that
front
even going up things sometimes, if I'm trying to like go up a curb
one. Mhm.
and you're like riding parallel with it.
Yeah, because you can just get your front wheels up and then you just skirt it around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Skirt.
Skirt.
But I've definitely eaten shit on front 180s
Yeah.
when you just like miss the landing a little bit.
Yeah. Then you went on to Kansas. Was that next?
Oh yeah, then we had our was ours before Kansas or after? Oh, it was
After.
then Kansas. Yeah, then Kansas skated with Sean Malto and skated the 3 block in
Mhm.
out there. That was huge and biggest thing I ever attempted in my life. And I was like, I don't know what got into me that day, because the day before I saw it and I was like, I'm not jumping that thing. and
Hyped
then
up, baby.
you just like get hyped up in the moment. Everyone's doing
And the
it.
city
like,
behind you, bro.
yo, it was freaking epic. Like I was the first attempt. Literally like it wasn't a huge roll up. It wasn't like as big as you wanted, and so you had to like run up to the roll up and then roll. And the first one, I was like, I'm gonna jump this, and I freaking just like rolled down the first slab and then just like ran down the rest of the two, and I was like, oh my god, dude, what am I even getting myself into right now? And like I was like, oh man, like I got
you're in
this
it.
now. Like I'm in it, like not that I had to, but I like felt like I really wanted to try it.
Yeah.
And then I started going after it, and then I had
Jumped
no
on
idea
top.
what I was doing because I've never attempted something like that. Like I was just hucking myself, like
Yeah.
just freaking whatever, blasting my body on the concrete. And then finally the homie DJ Stewart came and like helped me out. He was like giving me pointers. Brain cancer survivor and like incredible dude, super motivational. And
Was he on? He was on Hawk vs. Wolf.
Yeah, he was on Hawk vs. Wolf. Incredible episode.
You can hear a story on there. We should have him
Yeah,
on here too.
we got to get him on here 100%. And he was coaching me and like, just hyping me up, and like it was intense. Like there was mad people going at once, and I was like, everyone was kind of like snaking each other. Like there was one guy there that was like this OG, like old head, from Kansas City, and he was like, get in there, like, it's a street trick. It's called a snake. You gotta go run up when he's about to go and bomb in front of him and do a trick. Yeah, like you get like, I'll give you $40, man. He's like going off on these kids, like it's a street snake, like going off, like
getting hyped.
getting so hyped, just trying to cause ruckus. And like, so DJ would jump behind me. And he would stop everyone else. And he'd be like, let's go. Like, start pumping his arms. And everyone else would start yelling. And I was like, oh, man, dude. I must have attempted that thing like 60 times that day. Like, a lot. And I just took slam after slam. And a couple times. One time I rolled away on my butt. One time landed on the front foot. But the back foot was off. And I just didn't get it that day. But, like, I had to walk away from it. It was like 100 degrees.
Were your quads, like, toasted for the next day?
Dude, I think they were more tired from running up the slabs each time. Like having to run back up them.
But like next day, were they all
torn up. Like I was the thing that hurt the most, and I never experienced this yet until that day in skateboarding, my heels hurt so bad that I couldn't, I literally had to walk on my tippy toes. Like they were so bruised. And like there's still residual like bruise because I've been doing stuff like that ever since. Yeah. And it's like,
yeah, when you don't,
I was like, oh man, I didn't know that, because I was in the zone. I didn't feel it at all, but I was dude, the impact I was taking every jump.
Yeah, the next day is when you don't jump down stuff and you go jump down something one day, and like, dude, the next day your quads are just like ripped up, dude. It's from the impact of like stopping, you know what I mean? Like catching yourself on the ground.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
There's something to be said about when adrenaline kicks in too when you're skateboarding, because like when you have those many people like hyping you up and so you don't feel the slams like that moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't feel anything.
You don't feel a thing. Like, because I was trying to do some stuff even at the skate park the other day and like took a couple slams and I was like over it. Because I wasn't like in the zone, but like when you're in the zone, dude, you could just keep going and it's crazy.
Yeah, you can get, there's like a wall you gotta hit. Once you get past that wall, you can just go forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Afterwards, you're just done.
Yeah, it was like July was freaking most skating I ever done in my life, and then went to freaking went to Michigan.
When you came to Michigan,
meetup.
Yeah.
Flew there and then flew to Iowa, and you were at Iowa tour, and it was freaking, that was a lot. There's like 8,000 people there, and I was hired to be there like as one of the hype people too, like to hype everyone up and like stoke the kids up too, and like it was a lot of energy. At the end of the weekend, I was like, I'm still recovering. I feel like I'm fried,
Mentally exhausted.
dude. I was on my feet for probably
Yeah, all day.
that's the thing. Like, and even now, I think I was so conditioned to be on my feet for so long for those events that like I keep forgetting to sit down now. And every time I sit, I'm like, oh, that's what I've been needing. It's pretty funny.
Dude. Life on the road.
You competed at Dew Tour.
I did something. Wouldn't call that much of a competition.
No, that's freaking
No,
dude.
I
that
tried
stuff
hard.
is-
I really wasn't that nervous during my runs, and I still blew it. So, but our boy Bishop came. He got podium.
Got third.
Got third in street. He was worried because they switched him from park to street.
Because he got second in park last year.
Yeah, and he's like, did not want to skate street. Ended up killing it,
Yeah, had like the best run we've ever seen.
and ended up having to skate in park too. Didn't he end up skating in park?
Yeah. I was on like first alternative or some alternative for park, and then they switched all this stuff around, and then I never skated. So I was
I know
ready
you-
though. I had my line ready. That bowl
I
was
know.
serious.
Yeah, it's a real deal bowl. Yeah,
Yeah, it was really cool.
I think it's like 6 feet is the smallest part, right?
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
it's 6.
Definitely no less than 6 feet.
Yeah, and that's
Like,
the
there-
small part. Yeah.
There was like a 10-foot vert wall
Mhm.
at least. It was crazy, but that was really cool being around
did-
that many.
Do you know how
pros.
Brandon did? Did Brandon
He got
podium?
third.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he got third.
Hell
That's
yeah.
super hype.
And then our girl
Brandon-
Tia Pearl got first.
Yeah, Tia got first.
Women's.
Um,
I thought it was strange they had the WCMX, the wheelchair,
as a exhibition,
as an expedition, not a.
I didn't like that. Because
last year it
why
was
can't
a-
you just make it a freaking event?
Yeah, that was strange.
For people, WCMX is the wheelchair.
Yeah,
I don't know what the MX stands for.
motocross, wheelchair motocross.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And they crush it. And it's really cool. I met a couple of those dudes.
yeah, grinding rails and all.
Yeah,
kinds.
it's nuts, dude. Like going up these walls, like
Quarter pipes, jumping down the gaps, and all that stuff.
it was
thought
the
that was
most
strange.
adaptive skaters I've ever been around. That was cool.
Oh yeah, dude, the contest was amazing to watch. And as always, my eyes and ears. This episode is brought to you by Clusive. That's CLUSIV. CLUSIV. Clusive.io.
.io.
Yes, Clusive.io. Clusive been killing it, man. If you're blind and visually impaired and you want to make more monies, you can. Their graduates have made almost 2 times, increased their income by almost 2 times.
Double the monies.
More monies.
It's pretty sick how
Competitive pay.
they're helping you get trained for your interviews online for your jobs.
Most of the interviews nowadays, like 86% or something like that, are done online. So they help figure out all the programs for doing that, giving training on how to use these programs and stuff like that, to nail the job interviews.
They're even training the
And-
companies to work with the blind individuals.
Working with companies directly, big, giant, huge companies. I think they just teamed up with, I don't know, I'm not going to say, I can't say yet.
Don't say-
Hopefully next ad. Big companies though, competitive pay, and the dopest thing is remote work, man. Working from home, like me and Anthony.
It's the best.
Be
I
chilling,
love
dude,
working from home.
on your own time and making, increasing. What is the average salary for the blind person? Like $27,000.
If
That's
that.
not enough to live, man.
Their inclusive is basically doubling that. 1.8 times.
Yep, they're killing it. So check them out. Check out the link.
CLUSIV.io. Make sure you tap that link and show them some love if you're blind or visually impaired. And if you know anyone blind or visually impaired and you know any companies trying to help blind and visually impaired, get employed.
Get employed, make double the money almost, baby, and work from home. It's the
Work
best.
from home.
Remote work. Thank you, Clusive,
Thank you.
dude.
It was so cool.
It was really cool to see, man. Felipe Nunez.
Do you get a lot out of
It's
being
just
at a skate
so
contest, or do you get bored because you can't see it?
I get bored after a while.
Yeah. I get hype
For
on
sure.
like some stuff though. When you hear like big airs or like it's hard to hear in the contest though, the airs and stuff cuz people are going so wild.
I mean, that contest is fun to watch no matter what because there's so much energy.
There's so much energy. And it's cool cuz the announcers are pretty descriptive.
Yeah, it's intense. There's like drones flying around during your run and stuff.
Biggest skate park
Hovering
in the
over you.
country. It's like just
They have like the little timer
groms.
beeps too when your run starts. Like beep.
Yeah, it was
Like whenever you're ready.
that was one of the coolest events I've actually been to.
It's like super
been a part
televised
of.
too, so it's like you got to wait for all the cameras and the televised stuff to go on. It's like before you run, they're like, "Hang on, Dan. Wait." You know what I mean? Everyone's like talking to each other behind the scenes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they're
It's
like, "All right, you're good to go," and you just got to go. It's intense. It's cool.
what was your feeling once like the clock started for you?
I wasn't. I was like I said. I wasn't that like nervous. I was definitely nervous, but like last year, I was. I mean, I like turned pale white. You know, what I mean? I was like, whoa, that was intense. Like I was not ready for that. But this year, I was chill. Like I wasn't too bad. I was just trying to focus on my run, and I felt confident, so it wasn't too bad. But it was weird having the drone overhead. That kind of messed with me a little bit. Just fucking flying around. Like, oh my god.
Dude, I don't know, man. It's televised, it's all live. It's like that's freaking a lot. I was kind of low key super happy that like I just got to be a part of everything and not have to like have the pressure.
Dude, it's a lot.
Oh,
Yeah, way
man.
more intense than like the grind for life.
Oh, so much more. It's like it felt like a skateboarding festival.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
it's big.
I've been to music festivals for the weekend and that's what it felt like minus the music.
Yeah, it's intense. There's a lot of people, and there's like an actual crowd and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a intense crowd.
Yeah, yeah, it's cool. Way intense, and that's just like the two we got. There's two runs. Grind for life is just like a 3 minute jam
Yeah, that's the
that
other
turns
thing.
into like 5 minutes. So it's really mellow. Like you're not
No
you fall,
stress
it's
really.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, all right, wait.
And they'll like you said they'll extend the time and stuff. This is strict. What do you have? How long were the runs? 40 seconds.
40 seconds. Yeah.
And you get two of them.
This is not a lot. I thought we were gonna get three. We got three
Well,
last
the
year.
pros got three. That's what I didn't like.
Yeah, it was strange. They it seems like they just try to crunch in the adaptive stuff. They try to
Dude.
just fit it in the schedule.
I will say one thing I really didn't like. This guy came up to me while we're practicing and almost says it to me like to speak to like for all the blind people, and I'm like, first of all, like I can't speak for everyone. I'm not even competing. But he came up to me. He's like, it's while you're all practicing, and I'm practicing too, because like I don't know if I'm gonna have to skate.
Mm-hmm.
The guy comes up to me. He's like, yeah, man, like so we had like an hour and what, like 20 minutes to warm up, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, man, at the last 30 minutes, like you, Dan, and Justin are going to get off the course and let these guys like be able to skate around full speed and do whatever they want. And in my head, and then pats me on the arm and like, you're cool with that, right, bud? And I was
Yeah,
just
it's like,
I'm not going to say anything right now because like I'm not making a scene, but like, I don't think that's right at all. Like, and looking back, I kind of wish I just said that at least.
yeah.
But I did not like that. It
Yeah, he came
rubbed me the wrong way. Did
He
he
said that
say
to me
you?
too, but I didn't realize that's what was going on, so I kind of got off the course and I was chilling and I'm like asked who I was hanging out with. I was like, is practice done? He's like, no, people are still skating. So I kind of just hopped in here and there.
Exactly. Me
But I
and
was
you
like
both
kind of
said,
off in my
super-
own zone though. Not too
Yeah.
many people were flying through there. Yeah, they should do it if they're going to separate. They should give us our own practice
Time.
then. But everyone gets the same time.
It doesn't make sense. Oh, let's take time away from the blind guys because they're in the way.
Yeah, it's strange.
I didn't like that.
But I mean, that's all stuff we're figuring out, you know.
No, exactly. Of course.
That's a big part of having these contests early is like, yeah, figuring out how should we set these up and all that stuff. Yeah, how should they practice? Yeah.
Yeah. Even that.
And they left. They said they were going to move the WCMX ramps during our runs, and they did not move the ramps. So
Wait,
there
are
was
you
like
serious?
there's that little ramp, like on the opposite. Like I was skating the flat bar, I'd go down the bank, and then the bank on the other side.
Yeah.
There's like a ramp in the middle of that bank, which was
Oh, that
it didn't
that's
bother me
stupid.
too much, but I
Yeah.
had to always stay more to the right. You know what I mean? I had less freedom to cruise around,
Yeah.
so that wasn't cool either. But we're figuring it all out.
There's definitely a vibe like, and it's understandable, but it kind of sucks to have to like be a part of that. But it's like
Yeah,
not the first priority, not like a huge priority, you know?
yeah.
It's like there's other stuff we have to worry about,
Mm-hmm.
type of thing.
Yeah,
But it's what it is. What it is. That's why
Getting
you have
there.
people that fight for it. It's
yeah,
good. But
yeah.
all in all, Detour was sick. Made some great friends.
Dude, it was a blast, man.
Yeah.
I did have a lot of fun,
That
especially
was-
after a contest. I had a good time hanging out. Went out, hanging out with
Yeah.
everybody. It was a good time.
Yeah. I did not go out that night. I was dead. My voice was gone.
Yeah, you couldn't even talk. The
I
girls killed it, dude.
Oh my gosh, dude, Sky Brown.
Yeah.
That was insane.
And the one girl, oh, I can't say her name, and I'm gonna botch it. Japanese skater. She won gold. But she did, yeah, big flip front board in her run, her last run. She had three flawless runs.
Yeah.
Like I was
Dude,
I
you
was
got
like
7-year-olds doing 900s now.
I was inspired by how good the Girl Scouts. Like, wow, that was impressive. They're getting like, I mean, just so good, dude. Catching up to the dudes, man.
There's this girl I follow, Shiloh. She goes to all like the Grind for Life stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
She was at the Vans. Vans was doing like a best trick contest thing down a 15 stair, and she was there. She's like 14, 15 years old, tearing it up, dude. Like, it was her first time doing a 15 stair. She kick flipped it and then did like a Smith grind and two other like a crook and something else, like like freaking just sent it. Like, that's
big
crazy,
rail,
dude.
Yeah, it's crazy how good the guys too, how good they are at jumping down that big stuff, dude.
Yeah,
it is wild.
I don't get. Dude, skateboarding blows my mind. Like, it's messed up the talent of some of these people. Like, they just do all these things first try.
That's why I was like so hyped when I was telling you like to go to these spots during these contests and like feel the spot and then hear what they do. It's just like, what?
Dude, doing any of that stuff first try, I'm like, that would take a day I thought, for anyone to figure out. But they're just sent, like, the confidence too.
The level is unreal.
Yeah.
It's only getting crazier too. Each year. Each year it gets crazier and crazier, dude. But yeah, Dew Tour is a big one, man. That's a fun one to be a part of. Hopefully next year they run it again.
Have they ever done an adaptive X Games?
They had adaptive X Games, but it was only park.
Oh, okay.
They've never done a street X Games.
Hmm.
And they were talking about doing it, and then COVID, so I don't know what. Hopefully they keep growing.
Yeah, it'll be sick.
I hope the USA skateboarding does more contests. I don't know if they're doing the national contest or what.
I know. It's supposed to be like October.
Yeah, it's supposed to come up here.
Yeah.
So.
I'm full skateboarding until I got my next contest is December for judo. I got Pan Ams.
December. Well, are you going to North Carolina for Grind for Life? That's your honeymoon or your year, though.
Yeah, I'm going.
You guys are going.
Because then I think we're gonna try and go to Hawaii for that.
Oh, like from there or something?
Not from there, but after that.
Gotcha. All right,
Yeah.
so we'll join you guys.
Yeah, come on.
How they want to go.
Does she want to go to Hawaii?
Yeah, she's been. I've never been.
I've never been. I was talking to Hosoi, dude. Oh, also got to meet Christian Hosoi. That was sick.
Yeah, and his dad.
And Pops Soy and Lizzie Armanto sent me a package, which was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
But Christian was telling me you gotta go to like a couple of these spots, like skate spots in Hawaii.
Oh, sick.
So,
Yeah, that's his homeland.
Yeah.
Does he live in Hawaii now? Do you know? Did you talk to him about that?
No, he doesn't. He lives in California.
Probably California.
Yeah, he's like a associate pastor at his church.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Found God. Found God.
Put down the meth.
First he found meth, yeah.
First he
Yeah, it's true.
First-
And he got caught up in all that stuff. Crazy story.
Yeah, it is. Have you ever seen the documentary?
I don't know if
I think it's called The Rise and Fall.
Is it? Oh, I don't think I've seen that. I just heard a story on like a bunch of podcasts and stuff.
Yeah, he's
And just heard it throughout. Yeah,
nicest dude ever. Like when you meet him, he's just a sweet guy. Like the next day, he came up to me and was like, "Hey man, what's up?" And I was like, "Who the heck's this?" And he's like, "It's Christian." I was like, "Christian who?" And I was like, "Oh my God, Christian is soy, yo, what's up?" It's like, why are you saying what's up to me?
It is weird being blind in those like at Do Tour.
Yeah,
Comes up to you, you're like yeah, because you gotta ask, like, well, who's that?
well, dude, it's like when we met Steve Cab on the deck of Tony's.
Whatever. Yeah. It's
Remember, because he's like, "Hey guys, what's up? I'm Steve." Just super sweet and like genuinely humble, and we were like, we didn't figure it out till later. We're like, "Dude, that was Steve Cab." Like, no.
Yeah.
So it was crazy.
And a lot of those guys are humble. They're not gonna say their last name.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, Steve Caballero.
Yeah. Steve
It's like,
Caballero.
hey, Steve. Hi.
Hey, I am
All those
Steve.
guys. Colin McKay did that. That's who I didn't know I met. I was like, oh, Colin McKay, dude.
Wait, where?
At Tony's ramp.
Oh yeah, really?
I think that's who it is. Yeah.
No, yeah, it was right.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit.
It's like a legend.
It's like Annie Mac doing like twists on the other side, and you're like, what?
Mhm.
That's the other thing. Being blind at Do Tour, you're right. You're like, are you a super famous person? Like that's just saying. Like I don't know. And like I made Kelly like look at a picture of Christian Asoy before we went to Do Tour. And be like,
Gone for this guy. I want to meet him. Yeah.
I want to meet this guy.
That's funny.
It's
Yeah, you got
amazing.
Kelly there to be your whisper ear.
Thankfully.
Christian Asoy, 12 o'clock, coming your way.
No, we were actually about to. So we were in like the VIP thing for Fuse or whatever, and we're about to leave for the night. It was like one of the first nights, and we're going back to our Airbnb, and we're about to leave the tent thing. And the second we're like going to exit, she's like, "Wait, do you want to meet Christian Soy right now? Because he's right there." And I was like, "Oh shit, really? Let's do it." And then we ended up talking for like 20 minutes. It was sick.
Yeah. Dang.
It's always nice
Yes.
when
So many big heads show up to that.
It's nice when like people like that though like give you their time. Like that means more to me than any like autographs or pictures or anything. Like 'cause time is so valuable,
Yeah, that's the best.
It's so cool.
Yee doggy. Is your phone hooked up to the board?
No,
Oh,
I don't
come
have
on.
that board on.
I thought. It's not. Oh, because we're on Zoom. Dang it.
Yeah,
Oh, I was gonna say we should call somebody.
I know. Your shirts are sold out.
Sold out Adidas Braille tee.
Are they gonna restock them?
Probably not. I think it's a one run thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, if they sold out, they should freaking do them again.
Hopefully they do a whole line, dude.
Yeah, we need the Dan Mancina line. Do they have?
Braille one.
Does Adidas do like skate clothes?
Yeah, they have clothes.
They have, like,
People have. Yeah,
skate
people
pants
have.
and stuff.
Some of the dudes have a bunch of clothes, like shorts, shirt, everything.
Yeah. So
Like
they do
Tyshawn
like
has
have a
some-
catered skate line like that.
Yeah. I don't know
But
if
it's very Euro.
Yeah, it's not like strictly skate. Excuse me. It'll be like Tyshawn has like these dope basketball style shorts that
Oh, sick.
rock every day pretty much.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, just like cool stuff. And then Gons always has Markinzas always has clothing out
Mm-hmm.
because he like makes his own. He's been making his own clothing.
Oh, that's sick.
He's like super artistic dude, and he'll like makes his own pants and stuff. Always like wild style. He'll show up to events like with his own pants he made, like sewed to himself. Oh, crazy.
Dude, I just learned from your 9 Club episode. I didn't know that Adidas is actually Adidas.
Adidas, yeah.
Adidas.
Adidas, yeah.
Adidas.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's how
No.
a lot of people say it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny.
That's wild. I've never heard it called that.
No,
Oh, I just saw your Braille boards came out too. You didn't tell me about that.
so um, they're supposed to drop September 22nd, but
So,
they get some. It's weird how shipping works. So some of them get shipped directly from the people who actually make the boards. They'll get drop shipped them. So just
okay.
and then the other of them go to Deluxe where they package and then distribute them from there.
Okay.
So like I think the one shop had them. Yeah.
Modern had them.
Did Modern have them too?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Dude, they made a post and I
I thought
messaged
that was
them
for
'cause
the T-shirt. No,
I'm trying to buy it. No, the board, I think.
I think that was the T.
Kelly
think
said
they
it was the
would've got it.
board.
Oh, maybe I don't know. Maybe it is.
Yeah.
Some people have them, but they're waiting to get.
So look out for that. September Braille board real.
Yeah, but they're gonna have the Braille size stickers on them, so that's gonna be the difference. So they're
No
once they go
way.
to Deluxe, they're gonna put the actual Braille sticker on, so you can read the size in Braille. Yeah.
Wait, so reals it's actually happening?
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be for like every board?
I think they're just doing the Braille boards. The goal is to have it eventually, yeah, on
Mhm.
all the real boards.
So are these Braille boards like can you skate them?
Yeah, yeah. It skates like a normal board. Yeah.
Do you
Doesn't
skate
mess
one?
with you. Yeah, I've skated. Yeah, I skated through all the ones that I had. Yeah.
Oh wow.
It doesn't the Braille on the bottom doesn't mess you up or like sliding or anything.
No, I was curious because like I would buy two to skate one.
You gotta hang one on the wall, dude.
And
One to
that's
wall,
what I
one to
mean.
wear.
That's why I would buy two to skate one.
Yeah.
What size is it? 806?
There'll be different sizes, I believe, but the size I skate is the 806. Yeah. Then
That's
they'll have
really cool.
They usually have like the 825. It's like the biggest selling.
Dude, you're pro.
No, not yet. It's just action realized. Not pro yet.
That's really sick though to make a collab like that. I
Yeah,
guess then you
such
would
a
call
sick
it, right?
board,
Like
dude.
collab.
Such a good board.
It's so cool.
Can't wait, dude.
Was it your vision to put the Braille on the board?
Yeah, that was back but when I first was getting flow from Real, Jim was like, "Hey, we have this action realized thing, like to raise money for stuff. Let us know if you have any ideas." And that was when I was in the beginning of designing the adaptive park for
Mhm.
Keep Pushing. I was like, "Yeah, I got my foundation. I'm trying to build a fully adaptive park." And then I did like a spray paint stencil graphic that I made and sent him a photo of that. He's like, "Oh, that's sick." And then they just kind of took over and figured everything out.
That's awesome.
Braille's
What is the graphic?
It's just the classic, what they call it, their classic oval graphic, which is just like on the bottom of the board is like these white oval rings, and it says real in the middle of that, and then skateboards on the bottom.
That's cool.
It's like the graphic they've had forever. So I did that one in Braille. There's a couple different colors too.
It's freaking awesome.
I don't even know what colors they are. But the sickest thing that I missed is it has the actual engraved indicator for the nose. So when you hold the board, it's like there's a little dip, like a etched out part where you feel on your fingers. Instead of like on top where I put the little bubble under my grip tape, or I roll up a sticker under there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's like an actual etched out thing on the nose. You can feel.
Wait, no way. So when you grip it,
You can feel it. It feels
that's
like all
sick.
smooth too. It feels.
Oh man. That is what you should do on like your pro model is have like a nose etching or something, you know.
Yeah, that, and then it also says like it'll say in Braille nose under the wheel well, and then tail under the tail wheel well too.
Oh, that's freaking sick.
Yeah.
So when you're like setting it up,
Mm-hmm.
that is awesome.
I still put the sticker under my grip though. I can't not do that now.
That's how I do it now. I
Yeah.
love it. I even I got my board set up in modern, like forgot to do that and just had to cut like a thing. for nose, and it
Wasn't
was
the same.
not the same. It was so much harder to find even.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it just that nut like little nub does
Yeah.
so much. It's like
It's like so
comfort.
quick. You just feel it
Yeah.
there.
You're like, oh, not that one. No, switch it.
Yeah.
And it looks so steezy because you're like, if someone's looking, they're like, how did he know to just switch his board without even looking? Like, how, you know?
And then always when I'm on tour, someone will, like, put my board in the van. I'm like, Dan, you got a giant bubble in your grip. Like, no, I put that in there. Oh, yeah, it's funny.
I like how you make it I thought you always did like a upside down smiley, so I've been putting a little frowny, like a little frowny sticker. And then I saw your board again, and I was like, oh, he does the smiley.
I like it. I like wrap it so my thumb fits right
Well,
in
see,
there.
mine, like my thumb grabs it, and then the little notch.
Oh, you grab it
kinda
like that?
hooks to
I
my
see.
thumb. Yeah,
That makes sense too.
yeah. So it's really like comfortable.
I like to just
Like I find I'll even carry my board by that instead of like under my arm. Just have it.
get that grip thumb, dude.
Yeah, it's like bass thumb.
Ask them. Yeah, dude.
Oh, what else? I
We
said
gotta-
fuck you to depression today.
Did you?
I don't know,
good.
dude. I've just been a grouch. I've been like in a slump lately, and
Been drained, man.
yeah, I'm super drained.
Physically, mentally.
And then it's like the month of the anniversary of like my brother's death. So
Oh,
like that's coming up and like always creeps up, and like I always feel bad too because it's at like it's 5 days like after Kelly's birthday even, so it's like oh, I gotta be happy and then try and ignore that and then like kind of be sad, you know? Like it's like kind of inevitable to be sad. Like sometimes I'll even find myself like, and it's been like this is like the 7th year now, I guess, and
yeah.
it's like some days, or especially August, like as soon as August like first hits, it's so weird, man. Like subconsciously, I start like getting in a rut, and without even realizing it, like I'll be like, just get like mad about stupid things or like short with people, and like have less energy for things, you know, or less patience, and then and I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with me? And then I'm like, oh shit, it's August, and like. That's not like an excuse for it. Like it's not like, oh, it's August so I can act how I want. It's like, oh, I'm fucking like mentally screwed up right here and like need to check myself. But and then like kind of put that energy towards that, you know, and like realize what it actually is.
Keep mentally
Like checking
finding.
myself.
Oh, this is why.
Yeah. Like I even had to like apologize for something like stupid. Like I like someone said something that was so like dumb for me to get mad about, and I was just like just said something short back and like walked away for like literally like 30 seconds and like sat down, and I was like, what the fuck's wrong with me? Like I'm just angry and like and tired, and I realized that and went right back, and that's what I said. So like it's great, like it's just been freaking
Well, yeah, I think that's the first step is realizing, mentally where those traps that you get caught in,
and then understanding that like this last month was like an extreme amount of like serotonin, a lot of like nonstop, a lot of like, you know, like being around a lot of people and like distracted too. So when you get back, it's like I'm taking August off, so right then and there I don't have anything to like distract me immediately, you know, so it's like nothing to look forward to really. And then I'm like, I just get like I'm so tired and then depressed, and then I'm like, dude, you gotta get out of this. And so like been taking a couple days to like kind of chill and do nothing, but then I get like antsy. So today I was like, dude, stop, like just stop. And like I went outside and worked out, and it like felt so much better. Like when you just take control.
Should bust out the little flat bar, dude.
I know. That's what I'm going to do after this.
When's the last time you busted that bad boy out?
Actually, too long. I'm definitely going to bust
Forgot
it
about that thing.
this. Yeah, I'm definitely. The blunt steel.
Blunt steel, that's what I was trying to remember.
Blunt steel. Love that guy, dude. He's the man. Gotta go skate at his spot again.
Scratch a couple garage out there.
Dude, freaking.
You should crook that.
Yeah, crook that. That's where I can practice my crook to regulars.
Have you crooked a rail yet? Flat bar, round? That'd be a new one, right?
Yeah, I think that would be new.
That'd be cool.
I gotta I don't know. I began so inspired by skating, and then also like I was telling you the other day, like, and in that funk of like, am I stupid for thinking I can like skateboard or like get better at this? Like, is it too late for me or like whatever? I'm like, no, I'm having a blast, but like,
Yeah.
I just want to progress, you know. But like, and there's people around you doing shit first try, and you're like, it can get kind of discouraging.
Yeah, when you see these dudes ripping up, it's like, jeez, dude.
Yeah, you're like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, why can't I heel
I
flip?
feel that. That's what I was talking about. Like, yeah, when I'm on tour, I see these guys killing it. I'm like, God, I don't even belong here.
Yeah, but then
Wow.
the second you do think people are getting stoked,
Yeah, it's all hype.
and you're like, why are they hyped? Like, the dude was just ripping next to you. That's not what it's about.
Because we forget that we're like blind. You know?
Yeah, exactly. We
No, I just
literally put ourselves at these like.
just want to be better.
I think, and also you and I, like, our expectations for ourselves are so high.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we strive to be like very, just we care about what we do, so we put everything into it. You know,
Yeah.
we're passionate.
It's weird. You're still young, dude. I'm trying to think when I
know, and now I'm
started
getting these
skating again.
creepy,
How old
like,
are you? You're 20.
27, but now I'm getting these creepy feelings like, dude, you're getting old, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, no, I'm not. But like, I'm like, dude, how long are you gonna be able to like jump down freaking stairs for? You gotta do this while you can, man. You got like a year of doing this, and I'm like, dude, you're fucking 27. Chill, like.
Yeah, well, that's when I look at like Shire Paul and like, oh yeah, he's like way older. He's still killing it. All right,
Yeah,
we got time.
and it's like even Tony, like fucking 53 breaks a femur, and
Yeah, you got to switch your skating up a little bit, but
yeah,
you do it
exactly.
alone.
No, and that's the other thing. What I was telling you too, I think is important to kind of say on here is like, I never had, like, I loved wrestling. Yeah, I really did like doing that because it was one of the few sports I could do and excel in, like being blind and still feel like I was part of everything, you know. And then, but I loved all that stuff. I loved like judo, but it feels more like a job, and like, I don't know. I wouldn't be like, oh yes, can't wait to go wrestle today. You know, it wasn't like that, and it was like, oh, I gotta go train and get this over with, type of thing. But I would give my all and like every ounce of me into it when I would do it, and that's just all I knew, like how to do it. And then, you know, that changed to judo years later, and like stayed in the grappling world, jiu-jitsu and stuff like that, because it was like all I kind of knew for like a release and stuff. And when I really found skateboarding, like this past year, it's been like, I'm excited every time I'm about to go skate. Like, I can't wait to go skate. Like, I've been getting so down that like I can't fucking drive myself, because I'm like, I would be just skating all the time or like going wherever I want. Like, that was another thing with the depression lately. I'm like, I can't fucking drive. It's such bullshit. Like, I hate not being able to drive. But then I'm like, dude, whatever. You can do other things. But still, I don't know. I think that might be one of the number one hardest things being blind, is like, for me, that I struggle with, is just not that freedom of not being able to, and never being able to do that. Never have I had that, you know? So it's like always wanting what you can't have, but like, I don't know, dude. If I could drive, like, life would be a lot different.
For sure, dude. No, I feel you that 100%. That's why I had worked so hard to get this shit in the backyard. You know what I mean? The stuff
That's
I have
the thing,
now. I need a place
inspires
where I can go skate.
That motivates the shit out of me that you do that. Like, one day I like, you know, can only dream to have like my own spot and just put a little couple things in the backyard for myself.
Yeah, all I need is a little bit. All I need is my little ledge and my flat bar.
Exactly. I would just do like a mini ramp, a little ledge, and something else.
Yeah. Let's have the full part coming up here, dude.
Oh, I can't wait, dude.
One day. Can't wait to start freaking putting on these workshops and bringing kids out, dude.
Well, the dream is that much closer. Did we talk about? Can we say?
I don't want to say quite yet.
Don't
quite
say
yet.
it.
Yeah, not yet. I want. Yeah. Big things we're working on.
Go to fundraiser.
Go to fundraiser. Yeah. we're getting closer to the phase 2 of the park. So
Yeah.
hopefully I'll know within a few weeks of what's going on, whether we're going to be able to expand or what.
It's just sick.
But once we expand, then we'll actually be able to actually do
Mhm.
these workshops, dude, and start bringing kids out.
Going down. So kids, get your skateboards. Get your
Get your
Christmas
boards ready.
cleats.
Gonna be shredding soon.
Shopping.
By next summer, I think, for
My
sure.
little niece has been coming up to me. She's like 11, and she's like, Uncle Tony, like, can you take me to the skate park? Like, can you take? I really want to learn to skateboard. Like, she's got all her pads and her board. And I'm gonna take her on the pump track.
Yes.
Just like hold her hands and roll her over the things.
Yeah, that's tight.
It's cool.
Dope.
It's cool. Like, I don't know. It's cool having like your nieces or nephews like think you're cool, or like look up to you. It's just like it's a funny feeling.
Yeah, none of my cousins, dude, or nieces and nephews have took on skating, dude. Nobody else in my family.
Callie pushes around though.
Yeah, he'll
Like,
cruise around. Yeah,
He's
cruises
really
around.
good on like cruising around too. He's really comfy on a skateboard.
Yeah, he can push and
Yeah.
he can drop in and stuff.
Yeah, he was having a good time in modern. That was fun last year.
But yeah, I've never had like the little guys aren't.
Well, that's the other thing too. I think this is like a therapy podcast for me, but like the past couple of days, like I've been bumming so hard because even I had a conversation with my other brother the other day, and like I guess like I used to like I kind of just hoped my brother was like as good at skateboarding as I remembered, Like I kind of like made up in my head like maybe like fantasized or like romanticized it a little to make him like better than he actually was or something, just to, like hang on to that. But like it ended up like I was talking to my brother the other day, and he's like, no man, I used to do like handrails, like huge stair sets, like he was fearless. And like I was like, oh shit, like I guess I was right. And like it just validated, and it was like, damn dude, like we would be skating together right now. And like that feeling of like
You would have been hyped, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I told Kelly the other day. The biggest thing that I miss is because I was 21 when he died, or like 20 years old when he died, and like I wasn't freak out, dude. I was still so immature, and we had a really good relationship, but not like an adult one yet.
Yeah.
And we were so close to that, and I think that's what I miss is not being able to have that continued like adult relationship with my brother, and like because we were so similar.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy. I mean,
no, that is I think about that all the time. You and your brother and my brothers and shit, and like as you get into older in life, your relationship, they all change. And
yeah, like it's really cool to see like me and my sister, we were like a couple years apart, and we shared a bedroom like first half of life, like growing up, like we were so close to each other all the time, and we like we fought a bunch, and we were like best friends. But I would always want to hang around her friends too, and she'd be like, get out of here, like you're just so annoying little brother type. And now like her and I have such a good relationship, like we're like friends, and it's like good to see her. And like I used to feel like I was just annoying her all the time, or like she was a bitch, like that was my freaking that's just what I thought, and like I was wrong, and you're like such a dumb little kid, and then now I'm just so grateful for that relationship I have with her, and like even the other people in my family. So it's like as you get older, the people you think you would get along with least or something, or like end up being your best friends.
Yeah, man, all my brothers are so busy, man. It's strange. Everyone's just in there.
Yeah, I feel that with my brother too. He's a lawyer, and he has 3 kids. So it's like, and then when he gets his free time, he wants to surf, and that's like very rare. So like I don't know, it's hard because but I think we're getting closer now. Like I think we're actually getting to like I've always looked up to my brother, like both of them. I always wanted to be them, like would steal their clothes, try and act like them. Like if I was wearing their shirt on a date, then I looked good. You know what I mean? Like that
Yeah.
type of thing. Like, and I think we're getting closer now to the point where like he'll be like, hit me up, let's hang out, and like it's cool to, because we only live a couple blocks away or whatever, and sometimes like you don't see
You really do
someone
have to like make an effort to.
super like.
You got to make an effort now, like as you get older, for sure.
It's crazy. I live not even a mile from my parents. Like I can walk there so easily, and I see them almost less than when I lived in like New York or Brooklyn. You know,
Right.
It's kind of partially my fault too, and I need to prioritize that stuff more. Like I saw my grandpa yesterday, and it was like so refreshing.
Hmm. I mean, yeah, when you're a
He's
kid, it's just
95.
when you're a kid, you're like, yeah, you're always around each other. It's easy to see
Yeah.
each other.
Because you
Yeah, you don't have kids and
you
freaking
live with your family,
yeah. You got to make a real effort
and family's like, you know,
to it.
it really is like, it's always been my support. It's like number one thing in my life. Like I love family.
Yeah, yeah. My family's good. My mom is kind of what holds us all together.
She does, dude. You guys.
Like always having people. She has like the pool at the house, so everyone's
Oh,
always.
that's nice.
So.
Yeah, my mom's always been good with that too. Just making the dinners and making
All
sure
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on, I think I'm.
6 to 26. Photos, 7 to 26. FaceTime, calendar, contacts, reminders, notes, TV, music,
Sorry,
podcast.
guys.
Whoa.
16 of 20. Numbers, 17 of 20. Pages, open, App Store, night, system preference, separator. Zoom us, open 22 of 26. Zoom us, zoom window, back in check command plus.
Jeez, I thought I might have exited my video for a second, but your audio got quiet. I hit a button on my freaking computer and your audio got quiet. I don't know what the
Can you
heck.
hear
I
me?
did. Yeah, I can still hear you, but yeah, man. If it weren't for my mom, yeah, we'd be definitely further apart. All my brothers and stuff
My mom.
holds us all together.
Yeah, if it wasn't for my mom too, I'd be like probably sitting here sucking my thumb, not knowing what to do in my life. Like asking everyone for help.
Your dad would have just given you everything.
My dad made a joke the other day. Like my dad was like talking to someone, and he was like, yeah, his mother was like very, you know, she taught him like hard love in terms of like, you know, being independent and like not doing everything for him and things like that.
Mhm.
Like teaching him to do those things on his own. He's like, if it was up to me, I'd be freaking sucking his earlobes while he's a little baby. Like, you know he's like, I just wanted to hold him and coddle him.
Yeah. That's funny.
Freaking
Yeah, that's how
Bo.
I was for sure.
Yeah.
Don't be such a little bitch, Dan.
Did your brothers pick on you?
My brothers?
Yeah.
Well, it was always me and I'm the youngest. It was me and the oldest, my oldest brother Matt, who were always like, when we played football, it was four of us, we 2-on-2, or baseball. I would always be on Matt's team, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like I always had support from all this. So we didn't really fight. I probably fought the most with like my brother Alex, who's the middle, but we didn't really like pick on each other too much.
I remember having a comeback for my brothers that was like, because at one point, like I was a kid, they used to like, just because they knew it would like get a reaction out of me, they'd be like, blind boy or something. And I was like, I remember my comeback used to be, at least I can read in the dark.
Oh my God.
And then what else? My brothers used to go at it. Like they used to fight when I was a kid.
Yeah, my brothers always said, I never really fought.
I
too much.
remember I used to like get super scared because I was the youngest too, and like, I used to hide in like behind couches and shit, and like in my
Yeah.
room, and like open my door and try and listen to everything that's going on. And, like
Yeah, that was me too. I didn't like the conflict. Yeah.
I hated the conflicts. I was super emotional too, where if there were conflicts in my house, I would scream. Like it would freak me out. I'd be like, everyone stop fighting.
Yeah.
Like I was that kid, but it would just make everything worse.
Oh yeah, my brothers used to hold me down. give me the torture where like you ever have him like where you knees on your arms, sitting on your
Yeah,
chest,
yep.
and then tap your forehead with your finger
Oh, I never
in the
gotten
same
that.
spot repeatedly until it like goes numb and it drives you crazy.
Dude, I remember one time my brother Ollie, we were at like this rental house because our house is getting an addition or something, and I'll never forget this. He like came inside. It's like nighttime. My dad's sleeping on the couch. Like he would always fall asleep on the couch watching TV or something. And he's sitting there snoring. My brother comes over and like farts in my dad's face.
Oh my god.
And my dad woke up and freaked out, dude. I remember him chasing my brother out
Oh
of the
my-
house and like locking the doors. And was like, go sleep at your friend's house. You fucking.
My dad, he was a cop, and like they separated, so he'd come by the house and he'd like on his breaks and he'd like take a nap on the couch. My brother's one time, he was sleeping on there and took a wiffle ball bat and just full swing to the gut, dude.
Oh my.
Oh
my.
Like, what the hell is going on?
Dude, that is savage.
So, dude, we were animals. And then we'd be like, can we play with your gun? Can we play with your gun? Be like, all right. He'd like take it and unload it. And then just walking around the house with his gun. He's like,
Oh my god.
police issued like 9 or whatever it
That's
was.
insane.
Remember the little fluorescent dot on the end? Just like, so like I must have been like, God, I must have been like 5, dude.
It's crazy the things that like ingrain into your brain, like memories that are so vivid.
I think then when my stepdad started coming around, one of the first times he came around, we were playing football in the back, and my brother Alex bit him, like we were all like dog pile, and bit him in his butt like super hard.
Oh my.
And he just, I'm done. He comes storming in, and it's like, I think what he said to my mom was like, call me when you got these kids under control. And she just laughed.
Oh, dude, the best would be when your mom would be like, I'm calling your father, or like, I can't wait till your father gets home because she can like handle everyone.
Oh, him and my oldest brother and my dad just a beef, and he used to come. I remember him coming and like them full on like wrestling, fighting in the living room. Like I think the one time he took his like PlayStation and like threw it out the fucking door, and they just went at it. And I was like, Jesus Christ!
One time, my brother was like mouthing off to my mom. I was so little, and like he was really like giving to her, like cursing at her and shit. And she was like, "Oh no, you don't do that!" And like grabbed like a frying pan off the stove or something and chased him out of the house, like just to scare him, and like locked him out. I think my brother got locked out of the house a few times.
I think when I was older, the only time my mom hit me, I was like, we were in the kitchen and I had a friend over, and she was like I had a plate or something, and I was like getting food at the stove, and like I don't even know what I said. I just like some smart remark, and my mom was just probably at her wit's end. She had just got home from work. She like cooked this dinner and just smacked me clean across my face in front of my friends. I was like, just like froze, like, oh my God.
Oh man, I think we've all gotten that probably once, like just being that smart ass.
Yeah.
My parents they didn't like hit or anything either. I have like memories of my dad like cracking the whip to fuck with me, like. But
my brother's favorite thing to do to each other, whenever you got on the shower, you had the wet towel. You know how you like?
Oh yeah.
How you spin it, and then you like make a little whip on of it, and so they get you with just the tip, dude. Bam! Right in the back, hurts
dude,
so bad.
That's the thing. I would get
getting whipped.
not being able to see those sounds and shit. I would literally. It was
terrifying.
just as bad as getting hit. Like
Yeah.
it was almost worse than getting hit because my cousin knew to fuck with me. Like he would make sounds all over the place. Like he'd start tapping shit and like hitting the wall
Oh
and
my
like
God.
like clapping like in front of my face and stuff, dude. And I used to get so scared. Like I used to curl up in a ball like on my bed and like not know what to do because I didn't know when or where it was coming from, and I was just like that fear is worse than like taking the beating.
If you ever had your shirt off, you definitely get we call it turkey on the back, where you take your hand, you get a handprint.
Oh yeah.
You know, in like kindergarten, when you trace
5-star.
your hand and you make a turkey out of it at Thanksgiving, they'd be like turkey and just whoop-ah, right in the back.
Yeah, the 5 stars. We used to call it a 5-star.
5-star.
Yeah.
Turkey, dude. It's called turkey.
Turkey.
5-star.
5-star, man. I remember those. You give them someone with sunburn.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Damn. Dude,
Funny.
that fear. I hate, there's nothing worse than that fear for me of like the anticipation.
Make it
not
all
being and not being able to see
on shit.
like just not being able to see where like what you're aiming to do. And then all of a sudden it comes like
That was your cousin who would do that?
yeah.
It's a good move for the blind.
Oh, dude, he
did a
was
little
the
bit.
man.
He
He
was-
used to come over the night before I had a wrestling match. He was like 2 years older than me. He also wrestled, but like once he was out of high school, he would come to all my wrestling matches. We were like best friends. We still are. Like I was his best man, and he used to come over the night before and call it discipline. He used to be like, "Yo, it's discipline," and he used to just like punch me and shit. And like the next day, I'd go to a match all pissed off, like ready to murder the next dude. Like
Discipline.
and he'd be like, "Dude, see, it works. Discipline." Like it was
Oh
just
my
his
God.
joke, dude, and like it became a funny thing. Like, oh man,
It's funny.
oh, it's good, but freaking.
I think that's it. It's our time, boy.
Yeah, cashless money, discipline, banks. I don't know if you should trust banks these days. I
Yeah.
don't know. If someone hacks into them,
All right.
so bad.
EyesNEars. Much love.
Love you guys, EyesNEars. Send in your questions. Click the link. Make sure you click the links. It helps us. And send in your questions. Send in your love. We love you.
Yes.
It's been another episode of 4 Bad Eyes. 2 guys that can't see.
Keep pushing. And one love from 4 Bad Eyes.